Welcome back to the ARCA Menard Series preview show. I'm Casey Campbell, and that's, of course, ARCA Menard Series PR Director Charlie Krall, of course, previewing the upcoming race weekend in Phoenix. Before we do that, though, we'd like to send our best wishes out to our friends at DGR Racing. Of course, it has been confirmed that a hauler was involved in a in a highway crash earlier today. Obviously, thinking about everybody at DGR, thinking about the racing community as a whole. Obviously, you can't say much about it right now at time of recording, but obviously more details will be shared very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. But obviously, big weekend for you guys out in Phoenix. Tough to transition from that, but obviously, what's it going to be like heading into this weekend in Phoenix?
Well, Casey, first, I would like to follow along with what you said and express my personal condolences to those involved in the accident heading out to Phoenix. We don't have a lot of details to share. I would expect the team will follow with some news of their own before too long, but would just like to thank all of the transport drivers out there. It is an unheralded job, and unfortunately they don't get a lot of the thanks that they perhaps deserve. It is a very difficult job, and I appreciate everything that those truck drivers do. And it's sad whenever we have an accident that affects our community like that. But we will head on to Phoenix and do what we do, but we will do it with a bit of a heavy heart this weekend.
Yep, as they say, the best thing for us to do is to race on. Basically, we have a lot of teams that are coming this weekend, but just to kind of explain this, how big is this racing community? Because you're around ARCA all the time. How big is this community?
There are a lot of people involved in the ARCA Menard series, and they come from all corners of the country. We've got teams that are based on the East Coast, teams that are based in the West Coast, teams that are based here in the Midwest, teams that are based down in Charlotte. We've got people who come from the national touring series of NASCAR. We've got people who come from short track racing. We've got people who come from other countries. It's a pretty big community that we've got built here, Casey, and that's just on the participant level. That doesn't count racetracks and sponsors and fans and media members, and it's a very big community. And not to belabor the point too much, but anytime something happens that affects someone on a personal level like this within that community, it does it hurts our heart. And we never want to see any of this happen to anybody, but it does kind of put a very sad tint onto what we're going to go and do this weekend. But yeah, heading out to Phoenix, Casey, it's going to be a big weekend for us. We've got a great entry list. It could be perhaps one of the more competitive races of the season, with a 40 car field, and a lot of great race teams from out west will be there. And they're going to want to get off on the right foot with their championship battle as well. So it could be a very, very interesting day on Friday.
Okay, so tell us about the West Series is also going to be opening up. They're going to be racing with the combined ARCA Menard Series. Talk about that series for a second. What are we going to expect there? Who are some of the names to really kind of watch out for this year?
Well, you always have to keep your eye on the Bill McAnally racing cars. Will be Austin Herzog in the 16. He's replacing Jesse Love. Jesse has moved on to the Venerini Motorsports program in the ARCA Menard Series Tour. So we'll keep an eye on Austin. Of course, Cole Moore returns in the 99 car. And then we'll have Derek Kraus. We'll be back this weekend running 19, a third entry. The Sunrise cars, you can't count those cars out. Of course, Jake Drew, who tied for the championship last year, he'll be back in the numbers, I believe in the number 9.
The number 6.
Actually, I believe he's in the number 6 this year. And then Tanner Reif will be in the 9 that Jake drove last year. So they should be very strong. And of course, you've got veterans like Todd Souza, who's always in the mix out on the West Coast. Bridget Burgess, who's small family owned team, has really from where they were 2 years ago. I saw a picture. They've added another car to their fleet. They've doubled their race car inventory in the off season here, so they should be pretty strong. Yeah, I mean, and how can you cut out PJ Pedroncelli and it's going to be a great season out west, Casey. I'm really excited to get that part of our calendar going, and by the time we get to the end of the race on Friday, we immediately turn our attention to the East Series down at Five Flags. So we've got a busy month coming up here. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have the combination race with the ARCA Menard Series in the West out at Phoenix, the East in action down at Five Flags, and then a standalone race for the West down at Irwindale in the next 3 weeks. So very busy time. All of our teams are going to be in competition here in the next 3 weeks, and we're just looking forward to getting it going.
Okay, so I know that you just previewed kind of the West Series. Also, Paul Penricelli, PJ's father, will also be racing in that, as well as also Kyle Keller will be there as well. And their Joey East, another name should look familiar to you.
And I overlook Joey, and I don't mean to do that, because he's kind of a quiet kid. He doesn't really draw a lot of attention to himself, but he won a race last year over at Colorado National, and he finished, I believe, third in both East and West points last year. And he had an incredible record out on the, in the East Series. I think he finished third or fourth or better. I think third or fourth. I should have looked this up before I talked to you about this case, but he had like an incredible string of top 5 finishes, like 5 out of 6 races he finished in the top 5. So yeah, he's a guy that definitely we need to be looking at, particularly in the West, because he's proven he can get it done.
Yeah, for sure. Going into and now there's also a bunch of the cars you'll expect to see every week in the main ARCA series. This will be Sammy Smith's debut with, of course, KBM. Of course, that team effectively takes over for Joe Gibbs Racing last year. What do you think about KBM coming in there with Sammy?
I think it's awesome. It's great to have Kyle Busch Motorsports involved. Not that Joe Gibbs Racing didn't bring a level of legitimacy to their program, but Kyle, as a driver, man, he is all about winning, and his race team is no different. They want to go out there and collect checkered flags and contend for championships, and Sammy's already proven he's going to do that. He's going to be in the battle for that East Series championship. He's going to be chasing after the showdown title. He's going to run all the races that he can, that he's eligible to run. And it's great to have them on board, and would not surprise me in the least to see Sammy up there battling for the win on Friday night, and maybe even walking away with it. He looked good at Bristol last year. He's shown, he's ready to come and compete at this level.
Yeah, because also we have, you got the 2 Rev cars, Nick Sanchez, Raja Caruth. You got, well, also note Raja Caruth will be in the 61. And I forgot another notable name that was in there. Did we say anything about Josh Berry yet?
You haven't, no.
Oh, okay.
He'll be running for, the 17W car that we saw Zane Smith in last year. I expect that Josh will be very competitive. That car didn't have a lot of luck last year, but I expect he'll be very competitive.
Yeah, for sure. We also got Daniel Dye from GMS, so of course he'll be down there. Brett Holmes Racing is back this weekend.
Yeah, Connor Mosak in the 23 car. Good to have Brett and his team back. We saw Brett down at Daytona, getting ready for his first race of the year in the Camping World Truck Series. But we expect him and his team both will run a pretty good portion of our schedule this year. So we look forward to having them back.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, you got Amber Balkan, Tony Breidinger, Jesse Love will be in the 20. Parker Chase will be also racing as well. And Greg Van Elst, of course, will be down there with you guys at Phoenix in there. Greg Van Elst is running the full season from what it looks like. What's it like to have someone like that run for the championship?
Well, that's exactly what we want, is to have the development drivers, the Nick Sanchez's, the Raja Caruths, the Daniel Dyes. We want those guys. But we also want Craig Van Elst to be here. We want the maybe not the young rookie, not the 15-year-old and 16-year-old rookies, but we want those guys who just want to come out and race. Will Kimmel is another good example. We'd love it if Will was out here with us each and every week as a driver. But yeah, great having Greg Van Alst. He's planning on coming every week, and we look forward to having him. That's a great addition to our series, and we hope he gets to celebrate at Tiber 2 in Victory Lane. He's building a pretty good race team, and he's got some great equipment, and Greg himself is a former ARCA CRA Super Series champion, so we know he can get it done. He just needs to get his footing under him and get that team up and running. I think he'll be doing just fine.
Of course, this will be the first race of the season for our friends at MAV TV. And if you remember, that booth's going to look a little different this year, but it's going to have some very familiar faces.
It'll be great to have Krista Kelly on board. Krista, of course, the former Krista Voda. She's using her married name now. Of course, many of us who have known her for a long time have known all along that she's been married, and her name is Krista Kelly. But it'll be great to have her calling all the action in the booth. It'll be great to have Mike Massaro down on pit road. Mike is a very respected veteran. A lot of us remember him back when he had to cover post race from the helicopter pad back in the ESPN days. So we'll try to make his job a little easier on him. And then, of course, Jim Trado back in the booth as the color analyst. Jim's got a lot of great insight onto the ARCA Menard series. And yeah, we look forward to having him. It's going to be a great weekend. I know they are very excited to get back to work. And yeah, we're excited to have them. It's going to be great to have on International Women's Day. Let's celebrate our great female talent that we have, in the booth, both Jamie Little and Krista Kelly, and then of course Katie Osborne down on pit road on FS1, and we see Kim Kuhn and Hannah Newhouse quite a bit patrolling pit road for MRN Radio, and all of the great females that we've got working on pit road, whether they're crew chiefs or crew members or spotters, and of course all of our wonderful female drivers. And the great thing about it is, Casey, 20 years ago I probably could have named them all. And now I can't. There's way too many for me to shout out all of those wonderful females in the ARCA Menard series by name. But it's fantastic to have them all, and it's been a pleasure to get to know most of them, and I'm always pulling for their success. I'm a girl dad myself, so I really want to see all of these young ladies go out there and find their success and do their fathers proud, like I want my daughter to go and do me proud. So yeah, it's great to have them.
Yeah, all 20 races will be called by a female this year. That's I put that tweet out there, and I just realized that. Yeah, that is really cool. Also, and then
all the East and West races will be called by an old man. So how about that?
But you forgot Jessie Punch too. Of course, she'll be joining you.
Yeah, Jessie Punch. We've seen her. We've seen her on Flow down at New Smyrna. She will be covering all the East races with me, and she'll be doing all the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour races as well. Yeah, can't forget Jessie. She's one of my favorites.
Don't forget Jamie Howe too.
Jamie Howe, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Also Jim Trado, also he's involved in all the races because he's also a pit spotter as well.
He is. That's right. You got a lot of info on your end there, Casey.
I try to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going into this race, this is Phoenix is always a big market for you guys. And I know there's going to be a lot of promotion that you guys are going to be doing throughout the season. Talk about some of the ways that you guys are going to promote this series.
We're just keep doing what we've been doing for nearly 70 years, Casey. We've got a great grassroots racing program here that kind of bridges local racing to what you see on Sunday afternoon. This is the first step that a lot of people take to become a professional race car driver. And, we're going to point out the fact that we've got a very diverse field of drivers this year. We've got a lot of really great young talented drivers that undoubtedly will be part of the national touring series here before too long. And I like to point out, Casey, that of the 202 drivers that raced in the NASCAR National Series last year, 158 of them came from the ARCA Menard series at some point. So it's a proven platform to develop drivers. I haven't updated my stats after last weekend, but I know all of the drivers who won those races did spend time in the ARCA Menard series. But I think something like 24 out of the first 25 top 5 finishes in the NASCAR National Touring Series before Las Vegas were ARCA Menard Series products.
Yes.
Only AJ Allmendinger made it without stopping off in the ARCA Menard Series first. So I'll update those stats to include the Las Vegas weekend, and I'm going to guess they're not going to change too much.
No, they're not, obviously. And the thing is, I've been around so long because I remember covering. Of course, obviously Ty Gibbs was just in there last year, and it wasn't too long ago that Chandler was in there. So
right.
Yeah, and obviously those two are proven winners. Of course, Alex Bowman, another one.
Yep.
Who spent a lot of time with you guys.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
Lots of wins in those 3 drivers right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a good one at Phoenix. Hope you guys got a good race. Of course, where can people watch? Because there's a new way to watch this year.
Watch live on MAV TV. If you don't have MAV, you can subscribe to Flow Racing and you can catch the broadcast there. And you can listen to it live on MRN Radio.
Yep. All right. And what time? And remind, I forget because what time is that starting again?
7:30 Eastern time, Casey. You better put it in your phone.
Yep.
You want me to send you a reminder?
Nah, I'm good.
I'll send you an appointment.
Yep, I will. It's
add it to your calendar.
I love appointment TV.
No excuses, Casey. I don't want you slacking off.
I always watch ARCA. It's
no slacking off, Casey.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
You and Garth to watch.
Yeah.
Don't make me call and yell at you after the race like he makes me call and yell at
him. Yeah, we'll have to see about that. All right, of course, 7:30 p.m. on MAV TV, Flow Racing, or MRN Radio, wherever you are. It's gonna be a fun one. The only action of the day on Friday to kick off a great weekend at Phoenix. Of course, the Xfinity and Cup Series will be there as well. So busy month for ARCA, and of course, Charlie will be here to preview all of it all right here on the ARCA Preview Show.